Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this welcome to this Get Ready With Me. I want to talk about some of the things that influencers, creators, internet personalities have just made seem normal that just really are not. And I will say, at least with one of these points, I'm part of the problem, so I wanted to talk about it. I wanted this to be a Get Ready With Me that is a little bit of a discussion thing where we can just throw a little shade, but also have some self-reflection, at least on my part. And even though this is a little bit of a serious topic, I also try to just have a little bit of fun with it and just, I don't know, poke fun at all of us, including myself. So I have a full basket here of new things, old things. I'm just gonna do a full face and it's gonna be a mix of old favorites, new favorites, some first impressions. I am gonna be using the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder. It's just Light Wonder foundation. I think it might be, or like Light Wonder skin tint even. I am having the 6 medium. That's my shade and I really like this one, and I don't know if this one is coming up before or after my foundation declutter, but I know I mentioned in that video that this is actually my favorite foundation from Charlotte Tilbury, and currently, that's my dog howling in the background, and currently the only one I have. I guess I'm getting a package. This is the sound of the mailman. You might think that this is the sound of my dog Kaisa. No, this is the sound of the mailman. I think this coverage is going to be enough today. I have a little bit of a something going on here, but overall my skin is in a pretty good spot and I want to keep the coverage as light as possible. Okay, the first thing I want to mention is actually the whole reason why I'm making this video. There's actually 2 reasons. Okay, let me start with one, that every time I see this, I am baffled by the amount of people that love seeing morning routines. And every time I see it, I do a little scuff. I'm like, because for me, it is just so made up. Either the video is made up to the point where it's like that nobody's morning routine looks like that, or it's at the point where it's like, well, of course your morning routine can be that. If you are working from home, you are making a lot of money, you don't need to get ready to like leave your place, and you also have a very flexible schedule where you can have a 2-hour morning. Girl, I'm gonna need you to simmer down. When I used to work in an office, and I'm not saying that this is for everyone, my morning routine, you know what that was? My train for my job left at 05:45. That's the morning. Yes, before 6 a.m., that's when my train left from the train station. Mind you, I do not live at the train station. I did not live at the train station, so I went up at 04:50. Yes, that's 10 minutes to 5 in the morning. I went up, I put my clothes on and I left. That was my morning routine in the darkness, like a troglodyte. Imagine me doing that morning routine, and I am sure that for a lot of people, that is exactly the morning routine that they had too. You know what I would do also? I would clean out the litter box for the cats. Yeah, that would have made a very interesting YouTube video. I'm just saying that these morning routines, and I'm also wondering if the reason why people are so fascinated by these morning routines is because they are just so out of touch. Because they are. Like, there is no way that I could have that kind of a sitting down for 30 minutes journaling and thinking about my day. There is no time for that. There is no time for homemade smoothies and going out on my patio and just pondering over life, especially waking up with my hair and makeup already done, having these amazingly cute outfits, nails done, your house is in a perfect order, your pets are behaving, and by the way, someone's filming you when you're waking up, which is that's another point. Candid moments, candid pictures, candid moments, they are the opposite of candid. And please let me know, by the way, do you have one of those like fancy morning routines? I've never had that, and I am a morning person. Before, when I used to work in the restaurant business, and even when I was working like lunchtime and I would start at like 9 or something, I would still go up at like early in the morning, but I would never have like a fancy morning routine. I would still look like a troglodyte, just for a longer period of time. And not so early in the morning. But let's talk about Candid Moments. Oh, and I'm having my sparkling mango water with caffeine. It's my new obsession. All of these like candid moments that you see in vlogs, candid moments that you see on like Instagram, I always used to think, oh, how nice it is to have someone that's like around to be able to capture these moments. And I think that all of us realize that like they're actually having someone that's like always trying to capture these moments. But after myself being an influencer or a creator or whatever you want to call it for a couple of years, I've realized that it's not necessarily someone capturing your candid moments as much as it is influencers or creators creating these candid moments. They didn't just happen to be there looking towards the horizon with perfect hair, the wind was blowing a little bit and someone was lucky enough to grab a picture of them. Everything is planned. All those like candid things you see in vlogs, all of that is planned. And I want you to know that my actual candid moments, when people take a picture of me that is actually candid, that wasn't planned, and I think I speak for pretty much all influencers or creators, they're as ugly as anyone else's. If you take a picture of me and I'm not prepared, you're getting this. And you know what? It's okay. You know that like meme of like the picture you put up on Instagram versus the picture that someone tags you on? We all have that. And a lot of people on like social media and on Instagram, especially on Instagram, it's so easy to manipulate. Even without Photoshop, even without Facetune, it is so easy to manipulate a picture that is not moving. I don't even have to edit to make myself look slimmer, curvier, taller, like I have better skin, like my facial features are amazing, like I do not have this little thing. They're so easy if you just find your poses, if you just find your angles to make yourself look flawless always. But trust me when I say that that's just not the reality. And all of these candid things that you're seeing, all of these pictures of an influencer that are just casually taken when they're walking down the streets, that was so planned. And I hope that you know that. And I hope that you know that when they have their picture taken, when they're not prepared, they're just like the rest of us. They look, and I look, just like anyone else. Because to really take a super good picture, you kind of do need to be a little bit prepared. Or at least a little bit aware that a picture is like ongoing. There is something ongoing. And I will say, from working as a model for a couple of years, I am very aware when somebody pulls up a camera to make sure that that candid photo of me does not make me, again, look like a troglodyte. Trying my very best, because I don't want pictures where I look, again, I've never been the person that's like overly afraid to not look pretty online. If I was, I would not be doing YouTube. I would be doing Instagram. Let me tell you about that. But I also will say people can be extremely rude online, and I try to give people as little fuel as possible. Been trying to dive in a little bit more into this one, the House Labs bronzer. I do enjoy it. I just need to use it a little bit more. Did some liner, did some lashes. Where is my lippy? I wanted to wear this one again. This is the Hourglass Rise. It's one of those like balmy things. I feel like I have my thought on this, but I just want to use it again today to make up my mind. My lips are very dry as well, so they really did deserve this. I'm gonna finally try these. These are the two Reasons by Nabla. I'm not gonna try both of them. I think one is a coral and one is a pink, and I'll probably do the coral if we're gonna be honest with ourselves. It This is the pink, and this is a gloss, like a see-through gloss, which scares me a little bit. Scares me a little bit, but let's do the, I think the coral one. I think there's a plastic on this one. This is so satisfying when you can do this. So let's see what this one looks like, if we can open it. My nails are a little fragile. They've been surviving a makeup declutter, and I will say they're hanging on. Okay, so it looks like this. This is like a cream blush, and this is a face gloss, which makes me... It's really a gloss. I don't think that's my journey. Don't think that's my journey. I don't think that's my journey. I want to have a blush brush. I think I'm just going to use a blush brush and go in with this one. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about that I feel like social media has made seem very normal, but it's just not, is overall just living large. Really pretty house, pretty car, pretty kids, pretty clothes, designer bags. I see so many more... That's really cute. So many more designer bags on out and about. If I go shopping here in Austin, so many people will have designer bags. And I'm wondering if people, because we have this parasocial relationship with people on social media. So we think that like they're living the same life as us. I should also always look pretty. Never outfit repeat is another one. I love outfit repeating. Listen, I do it all the time. But we've come to this place where we're supposed to like be like people online, and don't try and keep up. Some of these people are making millions trying to look like they don't. But still they're wearing designer, but it's like that, oh, we're so grateful for what we have and we work so hard, and they're not like boasting about being like billionaires, but like remember, some of these influencers, they have a lot of money, always going on vacations. And this I am guilty of, because I am the type of person that I will spend my money on vacations. If I have extra money, I will spend it on vacations because I love a good vacation. That is my favorite way personally to spend money. This looks beautiful. The blush is beautiful. The balm, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. Am I supposed to like... This doesn't feel right. You know what? Let's skip the balm. I love the blush though. That is really, really beautiful. And I want to use... I'm trying to use this one. I'm going to use this a little bit just as a... to get a little luminosity in parts. Not like my... Not here, but like around. But yeah, they're traveling all the time. They always having nice outfits, always having manicured nails, going to get a facial, always eating out, always eating out, having some very expensive like jewelry. When you see those stacks of bracelets, that can be $100,000 on their wrist right there. And that's one of the things that I don't think it should be normal to see people with $100,000 on their wrist. And now, like, if you Google, let me actually look. If I look at, what is it called? Arm bracelet stacks. What do you call it? Bracelet tags. Bracelet stacks. Bracelet stacks has 1.3 million posts. Million posts. And some of those, it's just been this... Like, if I look at these are people that, like... That's so much money. And of course, some of these are not that. But somehow, the bracelet stacks became normal. And we just see people with so much money on their wrists, and somehow we became blind to it. And I actually did a while ago, because I like bracelets, and I've been trying to find bracelets that have the thinnest wrists in the world, and I've been trying to find bracelets that are like cute bracelets, but not kids bracelets. And it's actually kind of hard. It's actually kind of hard. And I started looking up what some of those bracelets cost that people have on their wrists. The Cartier bracelets, no diamonds, no nothing. The easiest of like versions, $5,000 to $6,000. Keep that in mind next time you see people, especially those that have like a lot of millions on them. That's not normal. That is not normal. And I want us to understand that that is not attainable, and we should not be comparing ourselves. I should as well not be comparing myself to something like that. When it comes to traveling, for me, I mean, me and my husband, we're both two people that are doing pretty okay in our careers. We don't have any kids. So we are actually able, and both are in careers that are fairly flexible. So we are actually able to travel probably more than other people. But just know that when you see people that travel a lot, and especially if you're like, oh, how can they travel so much? Like, they have kids. Yeah, they probably have nannies too. And personal assistants. And a lot of these trips that you see influencers do, and you see them do them all the time. Not me, I will say. I pay for my trips myself. A lot of those trips are paid for in exchange for a post. And I want you to remember that when you're like, how can she be in Italy now when she was in Spain 2 weeks ago? Why is she not in her perfect house in LA? She's probably getting those trips for free. And I know a lot of the time when you see, oh my God, can we talk about that? This is something that I have thought of. This is something that I have thought of, and I have thought like, why all of a sudden is everyone pretending like flying business or flying first class is normal? It is not normal. Do you know how expensive that is? That is crazy bananas money that you're spending on what? Sitting on a plane? Going to where you're actually supposed to be? Absolutely not. Let me actually check, because I checked on this once, like how much would it cost me to fly from here, Austin, to Amsterdam, which is the direct airport from Austin. I cannot spell. Austin to Schiphol. Okay, so Schiphol, that is $6,000 if you fly on a random Sunday. Did you hear me? $6,000 for a plane ticket. Ma'am, are you on drugs? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And if you want to fly even farther, they can be as much as $10,000. I'm not spending $10,000 on a plane ticket. I'm not even spending that on like my hotel. Like, no, that is not normal. That is not normal money. And I want you also to know that a lot of these influencers that you see flying first class, first of all, there's been so many. Wait, let me get my primer. Where do I have it? Oh, here it is. There's been so many like debunking of like influencers pretending to fly first class when actually they're not. They're just taking a picture in first class and then they're sitting in the back with the rest of us peasants, because $5,000 is a lot of money, okay? No, absolutely not. And also, if you look at some of these posts of like influencers that are actually doing good and that actually are flying first class, you can see a lot of these posts are paid by the aircraft, because they need pretty people to sit in first class to sell these tickets at $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 a pop. So a lot of the time with social media, it is smoke and mirrors. And I hope that I see it seeping through. You know, you see celebrities and you see influencers have those extraordinary, just over the top, like gender reveal parties, which like as a basis, I hate gender reveal parties. I do not see the need. Why is it such a big deal if it's a boy or a girl? Like, it means nothing. They're a baby. I'm hoping that they'll get like. That's a discussion for another time. And it's as well, I don't have kids, so I really don't think I have a say in this discussion whatsoever. But all of those over-the-top birthday parties, you see people spending $1,000 on a birthday party for a 2-year-old. That's not normal. Don't do that. You don't need to do that. Don't do it for the gram. Don't try to have a Pinterest home or a Pinterest birthday party or a Pinterest charcuterie board. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Don't try to keep up with people that get paid to show a more lavish lifestyle than they would be able to have if they weren't getting some of these things for free. Don't try to keep up. There's no point. I'm gonna use this side by side by Nabla. I got sent this one and it's a small neutral palette. This is what it looks like. It is not the same shades as in the original side by side. These are new shades, but it's meant to complement that palette. I actually don't have that palette left in my collection, but I remember thinking that it was a good quality palette. So we are gonna do something neutral today. I also have some of the singles I have all the singles from the Fantasy Cosmetica Lost Library collection. So I thought we could top it up with that. But I think, should we do like the pinky mauve? These two shades. Let me work with these two shades. But yeah, try to remember when you see some of these lavish things, or when you're asking yourself, how can they afford this? Like, how do they make their money? Or the stuff that you're like, oh, should I also have a big over-the-top birthday party? Remember this. The reason why they're doing this is because them doing it is content, which is their job. They need to create situations that are worthy of a photography, that are worthy of a vlog, that are worthy of the outfit, that are worthy of the makeup look. They need to create stuff. And that's like when you see those like daily vlogger channels, you think that like, oh my God, I can't believe they're always out eating. They're always like doing all of these fun stuff. Like, they need to. They signed up to show you their life every day. Imagine if I would do that. That would be 5 vlogs of me just working at home, only leaving the house to walk my dogs. Nobody wants to see that. So when we keep like clicking on these videos, when we keep liking the posts of them taking their second vacations to the Maldives this year, that is what makes them realize like what works. The super stylized, very well thought out things gets the most views. Just look at like Mr. Beast. He's not necessarily within the category that I'm talking about, but people love they don't want to see the I've tried one eyeshadow palette, let me tell you what I think about it. They want to have I tried every holiday eyeshadow palette that's been released this year and let me tell you which one sucks. That's what people want to see. And it's the same with the Instagram thing. Nobody wants to see it bracelet stacks that doesn't match, that doesn't look blingy, that doesn't have the right lighting, or that like it's not well organized. Nobody wants to see a picture of a birthday party if it's not totally fixed together. And you might think that like, oh, I would like to see that. But overall, I will say that like when I do a picture on Instagram that is a little bit more fixed, maybe a faked candid moment, maybe it's something that has the perfect lighting. I might have even changed the lighting to make it look like it was a little bit brighter that day. Those pictures get more likes. They do. They just get more likes. The extraordinary, over-the-top things, people like that. And I say people, I mean as a group. Not necessarily you personally, but as a group. So this is the darker shade Baby. I'm thinking we're just gonna try and do something that's not too crazy bananas. I also have, wow, this is me in the middle. I keep forgetting. I have these new Cupid arrows as well. I love this formula and I've been keeping them in the packaging to remind myself that I have 2 new colors. So I have number, oh, it only says Arrow Pop Mauve. Oh, I maybe could have used this. Let me actually use this as a base. These are really, really nice as bases, if I'm gonna be totally honest. That turned out really good. I'm gonna go over with the powder again afterwards. These are just a multi-use pen that can be used on your eyes, on your lips, or as a base. They're just honestly a really nice product, and I'm excited to have some more colors. Because yeah, I like these a lot. And I wonder about this shade. It is called Melon. That maybe? We'll figure that out. I'm just in full creator mood right now, so I'm just putting some of the pen under my eye, but only about half. And I think I'm gonna use a little bit of the black around here, and also a little bit just on the upper lash line. Like a little bit like that. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of the holographic shadows right now. There is a little sleeve and the palette looks like this, like a book. Ooh, and you open it up. I'm failing. You open it up and the shadows are in here. These are just holographic shadows. I'm just gonna show you these just so you can get a feel of like the texture of the shadows. These are duochrome multichromes with holographic particles in there. And I kind of want to do, because I don't know, wait, can you see that they're like, which ones do I want to do with this like pink look? So I'm thinking I might actually do this one that is like almost like a smoky lavender to a gold. We might do that one. Let me actually just poke that one out, can I? I mean, this is one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of single shadows anymore. It's just so difficult. It is called Song, and we are going to be doing that one on the lid, and then we're going to go back with the Nabla palette. I have plans. We'll see if it works out. The last thing I wanted to talk about is something that me and my husband always like, oh, that is way more impactful than I thought. Something that we always laugh about, and I always like, you know, when you have those kind of inside jokes with your significant other or like with your bestie, and ours is always like, why didn't you make this into an Instagram post? Or why didn't you come home with 10,000 roses? Or, you know, those over exaggerated romantic gestures that is only for the gram. They're only made to look really good on social media. But like, do you know how much it costs to get those like super, super big, I'm using the Rick and Morty spray here, those really big like bouquets of roses? That's $1,000 probably. Like, that's very, very expensive. So I'm just saying that's not attainable for most people. And honestly, if my husband bought me something that expensive, I'd be like, what are you doing? Do you know how much fun we could have had for this? And also, like, when people are doing those like those posts with the rose petals and all of that, like, don't think that your partner isn't good enough because he's not doing the kind of romantic gestures that you see on social media. They're only there because of social media. That's the reason for being there. That's why they're there. It's not because it's attainable. It's not because that's normal, and it shouldn't be. Those kind of gestures, that's not normal. And I really hope that none of you out there are expecting your partner to be spending hundreds, thousands of dollars planning different things just for it to look good on a picture. I really hope you're not doing that, because that's not attainable. Ooh, the yard work is really going bananas. Let me finish this up a little bit, and I'll do a little mascara as well. And I can show you what I was thinking to do with that other pen. Okay, I think they left for a bit. I'm not gonna use this coral one. I'm actually gonna use a handheld mirror, which I never do. And I'm actually gonna apply it down here. Oh, that is so pretty. And in my waterline. And I'm gonna apply it around. Is that not the coolest thing you've ever seen in your life? I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Let me apply a little bit more of the lippy. It's a nice one. I wish I had gotten something a little bit more cool toned, honestly. I don't know why. I just feel like in this formula, I think I would have preferred that. I'm gonna see what colors are available at Sephora next time I am there. But yeah, let me know what you think about this one. Just overall how I feel about the products I tried for the first time. I think the Nabla eyeshadows are good, but not my absolute favorite. Like the shimmer is so beautiful from Fantasy Cosmetica. They're wonderful. The arrow, what are they called? Something arrow. They're called the Cupid's Arrow. These from Nabla, amazing. And I really love that little pop of peach in the corner. I thought that looked really, really pretty. So overall, I really like the makeup. It's a little bit of a different, like a neutral look with a little bit of a twist, because there are some holographic shimmers in these in this eyeshadow, and you cannot really see that in this direct light, but trust me, they are there. And also the peach is just making it a little bit different. But this video is not meant to shame anyone. It is just meant to be I've always said this on my channel. You're not supposed to keep up with my makeup consumption. I do this for a living to review as much as possible so that I can help you in your purchasing decisions, or just for you to see that like, oh, there's so many of these palettes being released. Is any of these for me? Or maybe it's like a trend you don't even want to like participate in. So it's not for you to keep up with influencers or with creators, and I feel like it's going rampant when it comes to lifestyle, traveling, eating out, outfit repeating, designer goods. Like, I feel like people are trying to keep up with something that they were never meant to keep up with. It is not normal. That's not normal life. I can just tell you, if you ever seen any of my vlogs over at my vlog channel, I have not been vlogging for a bit because I've been a little bit busy. I'm gonna vlog a little bit in December though, but if you've ever seen that, you know that like that's not the lifestyle that I'm living. And I can tell you right now, it's probably not the lifestyle of most people either. Remember, what people show you on social media is what they choose to show you. They do not show you all the thousands of pictures that they didn't want to show you. They're not showing you all the situations that they just did not want you to see. They're very pick and choosy. It is just a highlight reel of their life where they're highlighting the parts that they want to reflect who they are. But maybe it does not necessarily reflect their lifestyle, so don't try to keep up. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a little bit chatty, and let me know what you think. And if you want to get some information about any of the things I talked about today, I will leave them in the description box down below. I hope you're having an amazing, amazing day, and I will see you again tomorrow for a new video. Bye!